These participants, drawn across humanitarian affairs organizations, United Nations agencies and states affected by insurgency, are meeting following a panel report of the UN Secretary-General's Action Agenda on internal displacement, focusing on prevention, protection and assistance. According to a survey by the International Organization for Migration, over 2 million internally displaced persons have returned to their communities. This, according to one of the participants, calls for more sustainable actions going forward.
Time has come where these refugees or IDPs were returned back to their communities. The challenge now is how to manage, how to integrate them back to the society. So many of them lost their means of livelihoods. So many of them could not find a way to sustain their life, and yet, as a government, we need to support them.
In the northeastern states of Borno, Adamawa and Yobe, millions of people have been displaced owing to a number of factors, including the Boko Haram insurgency, intertribal clashes, and natural disasters. In the north-central, Benue State has also seen hundreds of persons fleeing their homes as a result of clashes and direct attacks from assailants. Officials of the United Nations say they remain committed to helping internally displaced persons to live quality lives.
Going back to their communities is the best solution, especially if there is security in those places where they are returning to. And depending on the availability of resources, we shall intervene in areas where they are returning to.
Representatives of some of the states affected by insurgency highlight government efforts to resettle displaced persons in their states.
And then looking at the number, Labundo in itself is a community that has around 3,000 individuals, and we are expecting another 2,700 IDPs to come and occupy that place.
Displacement no doubt results in an unimaginable discomfort, but conversations such as this may just provide the needed succor for persons who are still struggling to resettle in their ancestral homes.
To boost agricultural development in the country, the federal government and the Food and Agricultural Organization have embarked on a 5-year program. During the signing of the partnership tagged Country Programming Framework, the country representative of the agency, Mr. Fred Kafro, explains that the initiative focuses on 4 pillars that align with the federal government's plan to improve food production and food security. However, the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Mohammed Abubakar, is promising the federal government support, which will help achieve its vision to create jobs and boost foreign exchange.
Nigeria has made good progress in addressing food insecurity and malnutrition in its various forms. Over the last few years, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, as the main government ministry in charge of agriculture, has invested heavily in improving local production of priority crops, particularly food crops, including rice, cassava, and more recently in wheat. But it has also significantly invested in transforming the livestock sector. It is also important to note that the progress made on strengthening the policy and coordination of food security interventions in the country has moved a great while. The NATIP, the NLTP, and more recently the presidential approval of the National Agriculture Development Fund are all concrete examples in this regard, and for that, permit me to commend the efforts of my brother, the Honorable Minister, in these regards.